box. I was just hoping to have a nice normal Monday, but my man, the Black Knight, said, "Yo, you need to go live. We got something that may be happening." So at the top, let's see what we got, boys and girls.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Come on and get some, boys.
What's going on, YouTubeites? Glad you could join me on a sweltering hot day. I hope you don't hear the fan on. I got the AC on. I got the ceiling fan on. I just got off from work looking rather dapper as I normally do. Enjoyed my awesome weekend chilling with my lady for her birthday. Went and did the Disney thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Darkside, Jedi, Very Gary Comics, 3 Men in the Basement, Nemesis Prime, all holding it down. 9AMF Comics. New Comic Smell, Alex Perez, my man Sith Lordly dropped some great news on me, but we're going to talk about tomorrow about the D23 Expo variant. We got a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot of stuff, but I think it's important stuff. And since, you know, there's a bunch of people that came onto the video that I dropped that said this was fake news and it was talking about, but, you know, for a long time, watchers of the channel, followers, friends, and everybody, we've been dropping this news for 6-7 months now. A lot of it came to fruition at D23. So unfortunately, your boy doesn't have receipts because my channel was taken down, but those who've been watching know we've been talking about this stuff. So it's kind of great that it's kind of, we are comic book collectors. We drop scoops early, so you go out and buy the books. I don't give a damn about Hollywood journalism or your professional scoopers or whatever you guys do. So whomever was telling somebody it was fake news on Twitter and came to my account and left comments and stuff in the videos, I appreciate the views. Thank you for hanging out, because guess what? It still counts as a view. So you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody in the live chat. Shout out to my man, Darkside Jedi, Nemesis Prime, and 3 Men in the Basement. Hold it down, man. Let's get right to it, man. Should I give him the Imperial March theme? Because, you know, welcome to the dark side. All right, boys and girls. Okay, let me pull up my notes. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Yeah, I wasn't even gonna go live with this, but you know, my man, the Black Knight, was saying, "Yo, we need to go live with this because it could be happening very soon." So, obviously, nothing is done yet, but let's see what we got, boys and girls. Black Knight is hearing from his sources inside Sony and Disney that both sides may reach a new agreement within a week's time, more or less. So, you know, right now we hopefully have a deal in place, and they got to iron out the details, do the contracts. Contract talks are continuing. The Black Knight and Lords of the Long Box want to caution that this is still a possibility, that there is still a possibility that this could fall apart again, as we saw prior. It's business and fragile. However, for now, though, Sony and Disney are more than just dancing. They're locked in a groove like Uma Thurman and John Travolta. But don't order that 9.8 CGC Hypno Hustler's first appearance quite yet. You know what I'm saying? Tom Holland was given strict orders at a recent convention not to talk about the Sony-Disney dispute because he may spoil critical information. To clarify, a deal has been reached yet. However, they are getting close. Still, do not pop the champagne just as of yet. Stay tuned. This may be close to a few days. Neither party wants a divorce right now for the sake of the boy, and that boy is named Tom Holland and Spider-Man. Here's some other things that are very interesting. So I want to talk about the almost prepared PR statements that came out over the weekend by Tom Holland and Kevin Feige. The first public comments that either of them has said about it. I'm going to read it to you verbatim. Then this was done at a interview that he had. And this is very out of character for Tom Holland. Tom Holland speaks freely all the time. So this was a very carefully crafted PR statement, it sounds like. Tom Holland told EW, basically, we've made 5 great movies. It's been an amazing 5 years. I had the time of my life, but who knows what the future holds. But all I know is that I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. It's going to be so fun, however we choose to do it. The future of Spider-Man will be different, but it'll be equally as awesome and amazing. I find out new ways to make it even cooler. Kevin Feige said, I'm feeling I'm feeling about Spider-Man gratitude and joy. We got to make 5 films within the MCU with Spider-Man, 2 standalone films, and 3 great Avengers films. It was a dream that I'd never dreamt would happen. It was never meant to last forever. We knew there was a finite amount of time that we'd be able to do this, and we told the story we wanted to tell, and we're always thankful for that. So, contrary to what you may have read or heard or anything, there's still talks ongoing with Sony and Marvel. There's way too much money on the table to be had by both sides for them to just throw this away. There's stockholders involved. They want everything wants to happen. From what I'm hearing, it's pretty close. We thought it was far away because, let's be honest, man, Marvel and Disney had their hands full of D23 with all the news that they dropped out. We're going to cover Wednesday, which we're going to have a jam-packed show. If you haven't checked out 3 Men in the Basement show yesterday, and they did a little D23, and guess what? Your boy popped into 3 Men in the Basement. I dropped a few DC scoops, so make sure you check out 3 Men in the Basement. Otto, type your name in there so people can go right to your channel, sub you up, and see the couple of scoops, the DC movie scoops DC. I want to say DC show news that we dropped yesterday on 3 Men in the Basement. Shout out to my man Manimal too, making his debut appearance on the 3 Men in the Basement. So that's where we're at right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the live chat right there. I got a few minutes. I got my man the Black Knight on retainer right now. So if you got any questions, feel free to try to answer them as best as I can. Let me see if I got anything updated. Oh man. Well, it's probably better if Otto leaves his name there. All they have to do is click on his name, Otto. Otto is always on time. Nathan Fillion is coming over in the Suicide Squad. That's all we know. I don't know who he's playing yet, but that's pretty interesting, man. Nathan Fillion is one of those geek names that have always been speculated on. You know what I mean? Nobody's cast as Moon Knight. That Moon Knight news didn't shock us. We knew he was coming, but it's so far down the road. They don't have a showrunner. They don't have anybody for it yet. We were going to talk about it tomorrow, but I'll touch on it a little bit now. We reported, 2 months ago that Moon Knight was coming to Hulu. As far as I know, Kevin Feige plucked Moon Knight from the Hulu world, Hulu universe that Jeff Loeb was doing about 2 weeks ago and put him on the schedule for Disney+. The plan is to still have him come on to Hulu after or before the Disney Plus miniseries. It's a miniseries for Disney Plus. And it was reported today that the Disney Plus stuff is not going to be rated R. So that's very interesting on how they're going to do Moon Knight. Remember, all this is fluid. Remember, Marvel came out with a schedule before that had the Inhumans on the damn thing. And then that became an ABC show. And we all know what happened with that. So there's a lot of things that could happen. So just to update you, this isn't a clickbait video or anything like that. My man, the Dark Knight, said that we need to go on this just so update because, we broke the story last week. Websites that have, YouTubers with 1.9 million accounts reported on our video. So, we felt that, we should, if we had any update, we'll tell you guys. So, you guys listen to us, and then, take it for what it will. Take it with a grain of salt or take it with a steak, however you want it. Hey, JLS Comics. Yeah, from what I'm going to get, guys, I'm going to leave as many questions as you can after the in the comments after the video posts, and I can ask the Black Knight before our show on Wednesday. From what I'm hearing, a lot of that stuff is phase 4 spilling into phase 5, right? So the Moon Knight stuff, that is so early. They don't have anything planned for that. I do know that I can tell you that when we drop the Kamala Khan story, that she is going to be making her debut in Captain Marvel 2 with her own series coming to Disney Plus. Okay, hold on. See, as we go, Disney shows are all phase 4. So they're all going to be part of phase 4. So remember, a lot of these shows are just miniseries. At least the ones that Kevin Feige's doing, those have a finite run. So we're talking Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki. They're like 4 to 6 episodes and they're done. Feige's producing news, and then there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be staying on there, maybe have a couple of seasons, but for the most part, the big MCU characters, they're gonna do a little series, and then they probably will appear on the big screen again, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, so on, etc. Was that a flip phone? No, it's not a flip phone, it's a regular phone, man. Come on now. Speaking of JLS Comics, just the other day when you say flip phone, I remember the first text I ever received. I received a text on my flip phone. What the hell is this? Somebody just sent me a message, and I had to reply by pressing like the numbers, like the number 1, just to get like 3 different letters. I had to press 3 times. Anyway, let me see. Spider-Man is still out. Yes, for those who don't know, Spider-Man is still out, but the latest update today is that they're close to a deal. if I was a troll, I would say a deal's been done. They're doing it. No, I'm going to go you off the news that we were told a deal is close to being done. They're still working on it, but the sides are close now. After all the D23 stuff, they're able to focus back on it. So nothing has been confirmed yet. As soon as it does, we'll come on here, we'll tell you. But from right now, they are close to a deal. They want to make this done. It behooves both sides. All the industry experts said it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. If you listen to anybody from, who writes for the Hollywood Reporter or any of these Screen Rants or anything, they all believe a deal is going to be done. It's just a matter of time. And it's, giant corporate entities are basically battling it out, right? Black Panther 2. No, I mean, all the stuff that was announced, the the Marvel Studios portion of D23 was kind of combined into a Disney overall cinematic presentation. So Feige didn't have a lot of time with it. So a Black Panther 2 movie was announced with a date of 2020. I want to think May 6th. I'm trying to use my brain here, and I just got off work, so I'm tired. Excuse me. But May 6th, and there will be a subtitle or a subline. So it's going to be Black Panther and then something. Like, the one that was rumored before was the Two Kings, but nothing was said. They just had the director come out and they said Black Panther 2, but there's going to be a subline. So you know how Marvel does it, like Captain America: The Civil War, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's going to be like that. Iron Man, I believe, is the only movie that really says Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3. And Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, Volume 1 and Volume 2. But they're going to be doing sublines or subplots. But not what I want. I'm subtitle, a subline, basically a second sentence for the damn movie. Jesus. Well, a reboot of Defenders on FX or Disney continue on Netflix. Yes, what we're hearing early reports is that the Netflix characters will be coming over to FX as soon as the 2 years is up on the deal at Netflix. So they really can't say or do anything yet till 2 years. But Loeb is going to be heading him up on FX. Kind of fits in perfectly. They want to segment the street level characters and the supernatural characters on Hulu. Netflix is definitely rated R type stuff. So as confirmed today, Disney Plus will not have any R-rated content. So I'm a little skeptical about Moon Knight being remaining on Disney Plus. I have a feeling Kevin Feige put Moon Knight there because of the Spider-Man stuff. I think they wanted to say some Spider-Man stuff. Moon Knight was available. They used the graphic and they put it up there. A non-R-rated Moon Knight seems kind of hard. A Moon Knight on Hulu seems more, believable to me. So we'll see what happens. That's just my own speculation. That's not a Black Knight report. But actually, on the Black Knight report, we actually said we heard Moon Knight was coming to Hulu. Last minute, Kevin Feige 2 weeks ago pulled it off, put it on the Disney Plus schedule. Today, report came out that no R-rated stuff, which everybody kind of assumed that, but because it's Disney. But I find it hard to believe to do a PG-13 Moon Knight on Disney Plus. So we shall see. Yes, not on film though. Moldovan. You know what? Let me do this, man. I'm sorry. Why am I not using StreamYard to its full capabilities, man? Black Knight. Let me ask you, since you're watching with Black Knight, what are you hearing about Swamp Thing? I believe I know what you told me about Swamp Thing, but we got a question in the live chat about Swamp Thing being shopped as a film. And last I heard, Swamp Thing was being shopped to CW or HBO Go, depending. CW may not have the money to do a Swamp Thing show. Swamp Thing was a very expensive show to do. HBO Go, the new streaming service of WB, could have that money. Moon Knight and Hulu would not have the same big budget, though. That is very true. Well, we don't know what they're dealing with yet. So it all depends on the Hulu subscriber numbers. Remember, there's going to be a package deal with Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus that's going to rival the high definition deal of Netflix, right? You have to pay like 12 something to get everything streaming in like 4K or some crap like that. I read some today. Let me go actually and bring that up. Something today about the pricing point on, and I'll tell you guys in a second. I just read it today. Hold on. I was busy at work, so I try not to pay attention to too much stuff on social media today. Sorry. All right. Disney Plus will include an HDR, 4K, and Dolby Atmos streaming with its $6.99 per month basic plan. Disney Bundle will include Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and ad-supported Hulu will cost $12.99 a month. Boom! That's a shot across the bow, Netflix. You can do a Disney Bundle that includes Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu for $12.99 a month. Holy cow! That is a killer deal, man. I don't care what you say. With $12.99 for ESPN Plus, now people can watch some of those, ESPN UFC shows. Let's see. All right. So, question about Swamp Thing is it's being shopped around. AT&T didn't like the production costs, and that's why it was shut down. If you remember all the stuff that was leaked about how the cast was really upset about it ending. If you don't know, AT&T bought Time Warner or Warner Brothers. So a lot of the suits are very penny pinching, not on the creative side. They didn't like the way the production of the show cost. And if it went on CW, it would be there, and it would be a lot cheaper version of what it was on DC Universe, which is a shame. I really enjoyed Swamp Thing for what it was. So it's a shame if that happens, man. Really shame. When does the deal go live? Well, I'm saying about 2 weeks. Black Knight told me it could happen within a week, but you know how things go. Anything could happen. What's funny is another part I didn't say about this, or maybe I did, was Tom Holland was told not to speak on this at all. They gave him a prepared statement, right? Because Tom Holland is notoriously famous for leaking stuff. I don't know if that's part of his shtick that he does, to endear himself to fans, but they told him stick to the script, and it was a very polished PR statement by Tom Holland. Very kudos to you, Tom. You did a great job with that, man. I don't know. I don't pay for Hulu with the ads. It just doesn't bother me enough to pay extra for not having commercials on it. Well, Sony Spider-Man spinoffs become part of the MCU. That's what part of the negotiations is. Let me read to you guys the first deal. Since we're waiting, Black Knight is blowing up my phone right now. All right. If you didn't know, James Gunn has spoken out publicly about this for the first time. He said the two companies are working their shit out. That's James Gunn's words. So basically, James Gunn is saying, look, they're going to work their shit out. I have no worries about that. And he has publicly said that. So, yeah. So the Hulu stuff is really interesting, man. D23 was so packed with Disney stuff. It was pretty awesome, actually, because I'm a big Disney fan. You know what I'm saying? My lady is a Disney photo blogger. She's not the Black Knight, by the way, but she would like to be. I can't tell you if she works for Disney or not, but she takes a lot of pictures for Disney, at Disney. How did I say that? Sorry. Oops, screwed it up. Yeah, man. So I hope they see the potential of saving DC Universal Swamp Thing. You should have hope, seeing that there's a Titan season 2. What I'm saying, if you want to save DC Universe, you need to go subscribe to it. The proof is in the paying of the subscriber counts, right? If you're going to pirate it, don't pirate it. If you want to save DC Universe, go out there and buy a DC Universe subscription, right? That's how they see it. They don't care about how many times it's been viewed. They want to see how many people are subscribing to the content on DC Universe. I'm a pass holder for Disney World. I love me some Disney. My lady goes there like at least once a week. She is an annual pass holder. She has a super pass. She can go when people are blocked out. So I took her to Jazz Kitchen on Saturday night for her birthday. I had an awesome gumbo, and the crawfish mashed potatoes were on point, son. I tore that up. What's cool is, if you didn't see the Disney panel on Friday, they had a Disney Legends panel. A lot of them were at the Jazz Kitchen that night. Robin, what's her name? Robin Roberts, who was inducted there, and I believe one of the other reporters there, and the guy that did the music. It was pretty cool, man. No news on the Sentry, but down the road, maybe. Right now, Phase 4 is so preoccupied with everything. I mean, it shocked everybody that at D23, Marvel didn't announce anything for the FF or X-Men, even though we were told they had logos. That's how busy they were. I'm assuming, because here's something else if you don't know. Tom Holland, the actor, has 2 animated projects coming up for Disney Studios. One is Pixar, and one is actually Disney Animation. So it would make things really awkward if Tom was stuck in a part of a split between Sony and Disney, because Tom Holland has actually got more stuff on the Disney side of it than he does on the Sony side of it. Let me look at his IMDb and I'll tell you, because I've seen trailers for it. He's going to be in that movie with Will Smith. It's called Spies in Disguise. It's an animated film. He's going to be voicing that. And he's also doing the Pixar film. Spies in Disguise is a Disney animated film. Disney and Pixar have 2 animation studios. One is Disney proper, and then they have Pixar, obviously, the studio house. And he's doing the Onward movie with Pixar. So he's got 2 projects already lined up for Disney. So it would, it's kind of weird. FF and X-Men not announced, because we're going to drop this on Wednesday, actually. But I'm holding, if you want to wait a second, I'm waiting for the Black Knight. But I got this news. This news is going to be dropped on Wednesday. But it's going to be somewhere. Status updates on the Spidey deal. No, not yet. What I did say for those who's joining us. Oh my God, that's a rather raunchy picture. I didn't know that your avatar was like that. So the update is they are close to a deal. We're looking at possibly 1 to 2 weeks for the announcement to come out. Both sides are talking again. The initial deal that Sony came back or Marvel came back with the 25 and the 50, that deal was turned down by Sony, but they're back at it and they're closer to a deal right now. Hold on. Let me get to my man blowing me up. All right. So we're going to save this for Wednesday, but you guys are getting the bonus stuff. FF and X-Men were not announced because Holland was going to be announced being in the FF as a co-star. The connection between him and Johnny Storm were really strong in the comics, if you didn't know. Yet so he was supposed to be there. Tom Holland was already at D23 promoting my stuff. It was kind of awkward. Tom Holland was on stage with Chris Pratt promoting their Pixar film Onward, and the fans in the stands were yelling out, Spidey, save Spidey, save Spidey, so on and so forth. But they didn't because they wanted to announce him, because if you know your comic book history, like this channel does, and most of these movie bloggers don't, Spider-Man #1 had a guest appearance of the Fantastic Four. So there you go. And Kevin Feige is a big on comic book history. He is a comic book historian. He can tell you, he's like the best of us Marvel fanboys out there, man. He can tell you everything, and he loves drawing stories from the Marvel universe. And that's why Fantastic Four is going to be inspired by Kirby, Byrne, and Hickman, some of the three of the best runs of the Fantastic Four. So take that. Oh God, man. All right, so I'm kind of spilling the beans on this. So hopefully we're gonna have some. So this is what we're gonna do, man. I was gonna do this on our Wednesday show, but I want to blow up Grace Randolph, so I'm gonna talk about this instead. But Wednesday we're gonna have some of the Black Knight report, and we got a new long-term spec list. For those who got the first long-term spec list, I hope you made a killing off that because some great books in there. Will the Black Knight be a main character in the Eternals, says our friend from, I'm assuming, Russia. Those look like Russian hieroglyphics. So Grace Randolph went on a tangent on Twitter about how such a big name actor named Kit Harington can have such a small disposable role in a disposable team called the Eternals. Well, Kevin Feige loves the Eternals and the history of what the Eternals bring to the comic books. And Grace Randolph, shame on you, should know this. You should be a comic book writer. So the Eternals, and he can introduce the Celestials, and they are immortal. They go through thousands and thousands of years at a time. Kit Harington will be playing multiple roles. And I talked about this on 3 Men in the Basement last night. If you know your history, you should know the Black Knight and guess who from the Eternals, Cersei, were both on the Avengers at a time in the late 80s, and the Avengers had a really wonky team, and I believe Hercules was also on that team. So that goes to, hey, we may get a Hercules. Hercules may appear in Thor 4. Black Knight is staying. You don't get an actor of Kit Harington's, metal to have him, like she said, appear in one movie and gone, because he's not. Kevin Feige has plans for the Black Knight, Dane Whitman. And it wasn't just a quantum realm thing in the Avengers Endgame that other people had said that, there's been talks about the Black Knight coming for a while now. Any news on Nova and Captain Britain in the MCU? I think the closest you got to Captain Britain was seeing Peggy Carter as kind of Captain Britain-esque in the What If, which looked awesome. Basically, she has a Union Jack symbol on the shield. So the first episode of What If is going to be what if Peggy Carter took the Captain America serum instead of Steve Rogers. She ends up being a version of Captain America that looks like it's called Captain Britain. But I am being told that there will be some Captain Britain in our near future, which was reported on this show maybe 2 months ago. All right. This is turning out. Oh, my God. All right. So I guess I'll drop that now since we're just talking about it. All right. So who asked about Captain Britain? So here's where we're going with that. About 2 months ago, we broke a report about Excalibur, the team of mutants, or not really mutants, but a British team of superheroes led by Captain Britain, Nightcrawler, Captain Britain's sister, and some other characters. Really kind of wonky book that came out in the 90s on, X-Mania was everywhere. So we reported that Excalibur was on like a long-term reserve list for Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige was a real big fan of Excalibur. Black Knight will eventually have his own franchise, his own team, and it'll be with Shadowcat and Captain Britain and the Excalibur team. So they want to do an Excalibur series, and the Black Knight fits in perfectly there because the Black Knight runs into Arthurian mythos, not mythos, Otto, but the kind of King Arthur mythos. If you followed anything about British kind of superheroes, there used to be like this superhero team of British superheroes. I forgot what they're called, but they work with MI6 at one point, and it's a lot of Arthurian legend drawn in there. If you remember Morgan Le Fay, all that stuff is, they got a rich history in the Marvel universe. Trust me. So, I mean, this allows Feige to go into different realms. You know what I mean? Yeah, Monday. This wasn't even meant to be a Monday Night Scoop, man. I just got home. It's 4:30 my time. So shout out to my man Darkside Jedi, JLS Comics, 3 Men in the Basement, Nemesis Prime for holding down the live chat while we're trying to get this done. Luckily and gladly, my man, the Black Knight. It's going to be, I was joking with the Black Knight over the weekend to say, we're going to have to change your name now because everybody's going to confuse you with the Kit Harington's character, Dane Whitman. So, maybe we'll change it from the Black Knight Report to something else. So don't want to give him away, by the way. It's getting close, though. I won't say anything else than that, but yeah. So if I get anything else, I will tweet about it. I will say anything. News ticker. Okay. So right now, Sony and Marvel are close to his deal as we've been. And for those who went on my last video and said lies, that this was going to happen, we never ever said a deal was done. We said that Marvel and Sony were still talking, and we gave you the details of the deal that Marvel sent Sony. Sony turned that deal down. Nothing was just, and this was prior to D23. I dropped that news on Friday, I believe, Friday or Thursday. They were hoping to get a deal done by D23. It didn't happen. Decides to back talking again, but it looks like a deal is going to be coming true. Sony stock did really well today, by the way. Stockholders want to see this happen. I wouldn't probably be surprised to see a stock dump after this goes through. People pump up the stock, boom, and sell it. Just like speculating on comic books. Same thing, man. Almost, kind of. Yes, I actually read that too. Red Hulk will be in a She-Hulk series. Also, for those who like to spec, get it now because it's already out there. I'm not breaking any news, but the Abomination and the Leader are going to be in the She-Hulk series is what I read in the report. So if you have the Abomination and the Leader, if you remember, both of them were in the Hulk movie, the Ed Norton one, the Leader and the Abomination. So that's coming. I read that in a report today, and I'll try to get confirmation for you guys on Wednesday how accurate those reports are. But right now, there's not even an actress or anything or showrunners. So I would expect the next few months you can maybe get like, oh, we got a showrunner, we got a writer. But I think they just wanted to throw something out there at D23 to get the fans excited, and they succeeded for the most part. They threw a graphic of Moon Knight. People lost their crap. Hopefully, we can show the videos of it because I think there's a moratorium on the time it takes to allow you to post the video from the Paul, because none of those panels were streamed live, by the way. But follow a channel called Emergency Awesome. They typically have great footage from within the presentation, and they posted a couple days right after. Like right after San Diego Comic-Con, they posted it. Did great stuff. I love that channel, by the way. Emergency Awesome. If you want me to show, holler at me. I'm a bit skeptical on any actors playing She-Hulk. I think it's going to be a CGI version. I don't think you're going to get a giant actress who plays She-Hulk. From what I've read about She-Hulk, She-Hulk is going to be a part superhero, part lawyer show. So, you know what I mean? Kind of CSI with a superhero in it, maybe. Not CSI, but Law and Order when they have the lawyers. So expect them to hire an actress to play the lawyer part. And then if you remember early She-Hulk history, she used to Hulk out into the Hulk. It's just probably the recent memory, I don't know, the last decade or so, where she's been kind of stuck in green form. But originally she was human form and she Hulked out, similar to how the Incredible Hulk used to be. Now he's just, always Hulk as opposed to Banner. So to cap it off, let me ask Dark Knight or Dark Knight, the Black Knight. And you got anything else? All right, so I can sign off. All right, guys. So peep us out on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have an update for you. But if not, we're definitely going to have some more news. We're going to have a extensive recap of D23, all the Marvel stuff. We don't really care about all the other stuff, but all the Marvel news that was dropped at D23, we're going to hopefully have that and hopefully have an update for you this. But the deal is close. We're almost getting there. Hopefully in a week or two, announcement will come out and everybody will just forget all this happened. And you knew who's going to feel really bad about this is Sony, who leaked this information to begin with. Not what I told you, but they started leaking out all the other stuff. And that $10 billion figure I heard is not accurate either. How they said they're going to sell the Spider-Man movie rights back to Disney for $10 billion. And I'm not finding any truth to that, but I would try to dig more for you to see if I can get any more out of this for you. Let me see. Let me talk to the Black Knight, and if all is done, I can sign off. Nope. All right, guys. We will see you Wednesday at 6 p.m. for the regular Lords of the Long Box show. We got a new Black Knight report. We got a long-term spec list, and we're gonna go deeper into the details that we have about the stuff that's coming to Disney Plus. Some interesting stories about where it's going to, and hopefully update on Spider-Man. Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.